What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of My Favorite Basketball Team Makes Me Want to Cry. As always, I'm your host, Zach Cronin, and today we are going to be talking about my Brooklyn Nets and how they managed to sell their game against the Miami Heat on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. This, of course, is a couple of days old at this point, but this is something that I've seen all too much of in modern day Nets fandom. I've been a fan of this team for many years. I've seen many iterations of this team. Deron Williams when they went 12 and 70, KD, Kyrie, this, that, whatever. But one thing that has stayed consistent is how the Nets almost routinely manage to fuck things up at the end of games. This isn't even the only time this week that this happened. They had an opportunity to beat the Portland Trail Blazers a couple of nights ago, which of course they did not do. And I kind of just want to take this opportunity as a little bit of a watch along and break down what exactly went wrong for this team, because there were multiple things that fed into this. There was inconsistency on offense. This game in particular was not a shootout by any means between these two teams. I think that the Heat shot like 40% in the fourth quarter. The Nets were at like 32% or something like that. But it's just all around mismanagement by Jacques Vaughn mostly, and of course sometimes not being able to execute on the court as well. But I think that there is a lot of things that we can take away and shine a light onto all of the fans who maybe don't routinely watch Nets basketball, or if you're a fan of another mid team who you also feel consistently melts down at the end of games, just know that you are not alone. So we're going to pick this up at about the 2 minute point in the fourth quarter. I am going to watch this all the way through to the end. Of course, I don't know how much of this commentary is going to make it in, because it would probably be like a 45-minute long video, and I don't want that. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Martin here goes to go under the screen. Thomas fakes it, goes back around, drives baseline, kicks it out to Royce O'Neal. Easy bucket for a very reliable shooter. Miami out of bounds. Of course, obviously, you're looking to give the ball to Jimmy Butler in this at the end of the game. Close game. Miami trying to milk the clock a little bit right now. You have Cam Thomas, who brings the double team from the top of the key. Really excellent defensive effort here. Let's go ahead and watch this back. You're obviously going to double him in the post in this scenario. Now, this cut by Josh Richardson, you're obviously trying to clear the floor so Bam can work one-on-one, but what this cut does in this situation is it allows Cam to come off of Jimmy Butler at the top of the key and double team Bam without Miami gaining an advantage on offense. Because as you can see here, where is he going to go with this ball? Josh Richardson has been passed off to Royce O'Neal, who's guarding two people here. I'm using my hands to show you guys, but he's guarding two people right over here. You could kick it out to Tyler Hero, but a lot of length over here, especially with Mikal Bridges. And then they just this is great defensive effort by Cam Thomas, who is not that great of a defender, and Bam just winds up throwing it away. If you watch how Cam Thomas is able to beat Tyler Hero right here, he sells this jab step. He sells this jab step so well. Forces Hero to shift, and all he needs is all he needs is Tyler Hero to lean to his left that little bit. And keep in mind, Hero is applying very solid pressure to him, but he lets him get into the middle. Yeah, you force him into the teeth of the defense. In that instance, you maybe want to shade to his right, take his right hand away, force him to the baseline. But either way, Cam Thomas is very good with the ball in his hands. He's a very good shot creator as well, and you have to respect him as a shooter on top of that. Not a bad defensive possession by the Nets here, even though Tyler Hero hits this runner. He had a couple of these down the stretch where you're just like, it's a good shot making on his end. This pick and roll is played pretty well. DSJ is sticking on Hero. There's no switch here. Cuts off his initial drive, forces him to kick it back out to JB, who runs into a little bit of a double. Good rotation by Cam, even though he overextends a little bit, which allows Hero to get the step. But still, I like the effort on that possession. Little bit of an iffy call, I would say. A little touchy this late in the game, but remarkable job by Cam Thomas to get into the paint. Very good jump stop as well. Sells the up fake, which forces Jimmy to lean in just a little bit, and he is rewarded with 2 free throws. Although I think, did Miami challenge this? I can't quite recall. No, they did not. Up by 1, 37 seconds left. DSJ is picking up full court. Not too much of a press. Josh Richardson is, acting as a little bit of a screener. I've been very impressed with DSJ's defensive effort over the last couple of weeks, but this is just a good move by Tyler Hero. Puts his shoulder down, creates just a little bit of space, going to his left nonetheless, finishes with the opposite hand. And now, final possession here. Final possession. We have 16 seconds left on the clock. The Brooklyn Nets have 2 timeouts in this situation. Jacques Vaughn is letting his team play it out. Is this necessarily the right decision? I don't know. I think in this situation, I would call a timeout just to try to figure out something, because the Nets do not have this history of being a team that runs these elaborate sets later on in the game. They kind of just play freelance at times, and that's not what you want on your potential game-winning shot. So ball's in Cam Thomas's hands. You could argue you wanted in Mikal Bridges' hands. They're going to run a little pick and roll with Royce O'Neal. There was a switch, but then a recover. This is not the shot that you want. This is a terrible shot. What kind of shot is that? Do you practice that shot? To quote the great Patrick Ewing, in this scenario, if you're Cam Thomas, you are one-on-one. You are on an island with I keep forgetting which fucking Martin brother is this. It's Caleb Martin. God damn it, I'm such a fucking casual. You and Caleb Martin are playing one-on-one. Put the ball on the deck and try to draw a foul. Attack the paint. Go downhill. Do not settle for a 27-foot 3. You are not that guy. Do not settle for this shot. This is an atrocious shot. He doesn't even hit the rim. Jacques Vaughn should have called a timeout. He should have settled the offense down, figure out a way to get the ball in the hands of Mikal Bridges, because that is not it. That is a disastrous shot that late in the game. All right, it's horrible. Horrible. Ball is about to be inbounded. You don't need a 3. You can go to overtime, especially with how you've been shooting this game. You don't need a 3. Ideally, you want the ball in the hands of Mikal Bridges. If not, look for Cam Thomas as a second option, but I want the ball in my hands of the best player at the end of the game. Royce O'Neal is inbounding. This is also where it kind of hurts the Nets, where they don't really have a ball handler or like a pseudo point guard type at the end of games, because you want a strong inbounder. You want someone who's able to read the floor well. You want someone who's able to execute passes. Not to say that Royce O'Neal can't do that, but it doesn't compare to having like a Draymond Green, for example, to inbound at the end of the game, or somebody like that. Okay, so Mikal goes to the rim, Johnson to the corner. Bridges once again comes up, creates some separation, and gets fouled by Tyler Hero. Good play. You put the ball in Bridges' hands, and you allow him to create. Let's watch this back again. Keep your eye on Mikal Bridges, who was guarded by Jimmy Butler, who is a very good defender. Butler's on him. Kind of uses Bam as like a second screener on that to get in Butler's way. Very good awareness by Bridges to create space for himself, which allows him to get downhill and ultimately puts Tyler Hero in a compromised position where he is awarded with 2 free throws. Let's look at what Miami is running right here. Kyle Lowry, very good inbounder. The opposite of what I was just saying with the Nets. This is a veteran point guard, knows how to deliver the ball in these types of situations. You have Bam at the elbow, extender at the elbow, pardon me. You have Jimmy Butler. There's probably going to be some sort of screen set here. Duncan Robinson as a safety valve. Tyler Hero as your secondary option. Keep in mind, they don't have a timeout. I'm sorry. Okay, so perfect. We get a little brush screen. Dorian Finney-Smith guarding Jimmy Butler. Not really that great of a shot. Nothing particularly impressive from either team at this point. It's really just Jimmy Butler going one-on-one. There is a little bit of additional pressure added from Dennis Smith Jr. Also very odd that JB would elect to run towards the corner where Tyler Hero is. So he's effectively like taking a jump shot with 3 people within the area of 3 people. Obviously, he can't go back the other way because of DSJ, but just like stop and pop for a three. At this rate, you're going to be taking a contested 18-footer. You might as well just take the three, but whatever. It's Jimmy Butler. He can take whatever kind of shot he wants. He's an elite player. So we're going to overtime now. Nets win the tip. Royce O'Neal, Cam Thomas, a little back and forth. Little 1-5 screen action, I guess. Mikal Bridges still guarded by Tyler Hero. Sizes him up. Dishes to Cam in the corner, who attacks Caleb Martin off the bounce and finishes. How is Thomas able to blow by Caleb Martin with such ease, you might ask? Watch how he attacks Caleb Martin's lead foot on the closeout. If you're a young player trying to beat your man off the dribble, if you're not that athletic like Cam Thomas really isn't, the easiest way to get a step on your defender is to attack their lead foot on the closeout. When their hips are not square, it is going to take more effort from them to swing their hips around to get in front of you. It doesn't matter how great of a defender they are. In the NBA, when there are milliseconds in between getting a stop or not, this is all the separation that you need. So watch. See, you see Caleb Martin's lead foot. I can't fucking highlight it without the overlay coming up. But his lead foot, and even he, a respectable defender, cannot recover from that. Thomas does a good job at shielding the ball as well from Adebayo on the drive, but a good start to this overtime. This was another high-quality possession on defense from the Nets. They've, over the final minutes of the game, they've defended Bam Adebayo pretty well with how they're sending different people on double teams, sending different double teams from different areas. Like, if you're a coach and you want to neutralize a player that way, you're obviously not going to stop Bam, but if you're able to give him different looks with different players coming from different areas on the floor, he's not going to be able to get into a rhythm of reading the defense. Like, if he's on the low block and you keep sending the same guy from the top of the key, after 2 times, he's going to know that that shot's going to be open, and Miami can put an elite three-point shooter there. They could put Tyler Hero up there. I mean, still, you could even put Jimmy Butler up there again. He's a fantastic player, but just watch. So Bam, also keep in mind, he's being guarded by Nick Claxton, who is an exceptional defender, doesn't really give up much in terms of height or weight. So you have Martin, who slides through. Royce O'Neal is cheating off of Tyler Hero right here. However, the send through, you're still playing 2-on-2 with Bridges and Thomas. That would allow, if anything, DSJ, he's going to have to rotate up anyway to cover either Hero or Bam, not Bam, or Jimmy Butler. There is no immediate weakness. Like, you see Royce O'Neal coming with the double team. Nobody is in a position to capitalize on that. Hero is not in a shooter's position. Jimmy Butler is not in a shooter's position. Caleb Martin has his back to the play. Josh Richardson, I don't think Bam is going to risk that pass. It's a very low percentage pass to try to take. O'Neal flashes, and everybody's able to recover. They're directing traffic. Bridges is directing traffic, making sure everybody's accounted for. And then he comes with the late double, forces Bam into a very low percentage fadeaway. That is an exceptional defensive possession, which makes it even more frustrating that this team was not able to come away with this victory. Good offensive possession. However, there are some things that could have made this possession run a little bit more smoothly. Obviously, it doesn't matter because they made the shot. But when you're dissecting film, even if you're playing at the highest level, you still want to point out the things that can be done more effectively, so that way your team is aware of it and can make these possessions just a little bit more efficient and run a little bit more smoothly. So Miami is in a little bit of a zone right here, kind of. I don't know if it's a zone with man principles, if it's a matchup zone or something, but it is effectively like they're in a 2-3 zone kind of position. Cam Thomas at the top of the key is getting attention from Tyler Hero and Caleb Martin. Dennis Smith Jr., what does he do? He cuts right as Martin is blitzing Cam Thomas. Caleb Martin does not see this because he's ball watching, and if you're double teaming, you're going to be ball watching. That's what you're doing. However, Dennis Smith Jr. doesn't run to the free throw line. He runs into the paint. Not good for spacing. Imagine if you're Stephon Diggs or you're Tyreek Hill. You want to make the pass as easy as possible for your quarterback. So you need to find where the opening is. Don't run to a set spot on the floor. Find where the opening is, and then come back to the ball. Dennis Smith Jr. does not do that here. Look, like this is a very low percentage pass. DSJ should not be here. He should not be with Bam. He should be at the free throw line. So that way, Thomas can deliver him the ball. DSJ can catch, observe, and then make the right pass without there being much of a contest. Like Bam almost pokes this ball away. It's just by luck that this is not a turnover. So DSJ corrals. There is maybe Nick Claxton at the rim, but Jimmy Butler is covering that, or at least running towards Nick Claxton, trying to take that away. Kick it to Royce O'Neal, a good three-point shooter, which is what he does. Uncontested three. Like, this is shooting practice. Good offensive possession. Could have been a little bit better, but I'm not trying to be nitpicky here, even though I just said it's good to be nitpicky sometimes. Another fantastic defensive possession by the Brooklyn Nets. Everyone has their matchup. So Bam sets a screen. This is actually like a double. This is more or less a double screen here. Communicated perfectly. Hero rejects it. It's passed off to Nick Claxton. And then DSJ finds himself on Jimmy Butler again. But even still, everybody is accounted for. The only mismatch here is O'Neal on Adebayo. However, Bam is not fighting for position right now because this is also kind of a mismatch. Pretty much anybody on Jimmy Butler, except for like Kawhi Leonard or Paul George, is a mismatch. But Claxton is also looking to help. So Cam Thomas, as he blitzes, Mikal Bridges is sliding up to take away that pass. Now, even though Bridges is more or less playing two guys, it is going to be significantly easier to cover this pass to the corner than it is to cover this pass out to the wing. It's just more distance that the ball has to travel, in turn giving the defender more time to recover. So brilliant awareness by Bridges. And then Miami's offense effectively doesn't do anything. They've wasted 24 seconds. The ball gets blocked by Bridges' shot clock violation. Incredible defensive possession. Very not good offensive possession right here. And I think that this is kind of where things began to fall apart for Brooklyn. Effectively, nothing happens on this. You have a light pick and roll between DSJ and Claxton. Bridges comes up, is covered by Josh Richardson. You now have Royce O'Neal, who's not really capable of doing much on offense outside of being a spot-up shooter. Keep in mind, there is now 6 seconds left on the shot clock. I know the overlay is in the way, and it is now a 1v1 between Dennis Smith Jr. and Tyler Hero. This is not a 1v1 that I care much for. However, I care even less about what DSJ is about to do, and that is kicking the ball out. Like, go up. It's one-on-one. Go up on Tyler Hero. Make him foul you. Go to the free throw line. There's 3.8 seconds left. There's no point in kicking it out to Cam Thomas. And even if you are going to kick it out to Cam Thomas, Cam should have just shot this right away. He goes into a little step back action. Just all around, not great offensive possession. They're so lucky that Miami missed all 3 of those shots. Oh my God, it's astounding that they managed to fuck this up this badly. Miami, keep in mind, has not made a shot. Oh my God, bro. It's so much worse. It's so much worse than I remember. Okay, so DSJ found the soft spot in the zone here. Much easier pass for Mikal Bridges. Look at this. Sets the screen, fakes it. Bridges is doubled. This is all you have to do to break a zone. All right, to all of you kids out there playing middle school, high school ball, all you have to do to break a zone is hang out in the middle of the paint, around the free throw line. It doesn't matter if you're 6'3", 6'8", 5'7". It doesn't matter. DSJ is wide open. And then once you catch it, you're supposed to turn and face the defense. But if you know that your man's in the corner and you can kick it to him, do it. Like, this is a good shot. This is a shot that I want Cam Thomas taking. It doesn't fall, but that's basketball. Sometimes you're going to have easy shots that don't go in. Sometimes you're going to have difficult shots that go. It's just a part of the game. We have 2 minutes left in this overtime period. Breakdown, 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 saved by the God himself, Nick Claxton. So Josh Richardson is left unaccounted for. Caleb Martin manages to attract 2 Brooklyn Nets here. Now, it's a 3-on-2 on the weak side of the floor. That's for Miami. I mean, it is a 3-on-2 for the Heat on the weak side of the floor. And this is why Josh Richardson is able to get open. Because even though, yes, Bridges and Royce O'Neal are aware that they are outnumbered on this side of the floor, they can't really do anything for it. And then you have three guys ball watching Tyler Hero. Spectacular pass, but then again, saved by Nick Claxton because he's long and athletic and a freak when it comes to being a rim protector, but not great. Oh my God, I remember this. Okay, so Brooklyn killing clock at this rate. Cam Thomas is going to play one-on-one on this possession. Not sure if he's the one-on-one guy. Maybe it's Mikal Bridges, but doesn't matter. Whatever, I'll take it. So he gets a step on Tyler Hero, drives into like three defenders, and now Miami has a 5-on-4. Tyler Hero is going to be hit for a three on this possession. I know that because I've watched it 3 times already. However, I also know that because he's trailing on the fast break. So either him or Bam is going to be open for this three. And Josh Richardson, like, Bam keeps running. And that is also another reason why Tyler Hero is so wide open. If Bam stops at the three-point line, one, he's going to block Josh Richardson's pass. And he's also keeping a defender closer to Tyler Hero. I don't want to underestimate another part of this is clearly that Cam Thomas did not get back in time. I don't know if he got like stuck behind a camera person or something, lack of effort, whatever. Doesn't matter. The point is that this is an open three when you're only up by 5. And Tyler Hero steps into this three. That again, shooting practice. Netzer once again, Jacques Vaughn is effectively on the court with them. It's 6-on-5, pretty much. They're trying to kill clock. They're trying to stall. They want to take as much time as possible. We get a little pick and roll action. Bridges drives baseline, searching, settles for a fadeaway. I'll take it. It's a good shot. Bridges is a good offensive player, and they get rewarded with a loose ball foul. The difference between good teams, bad teams, and great teams oftentimes does come down to talent, yes, but it also comes down to how frequently they make mistakes. For all of the times I raved about Brooklyn's defense throughout the end of the game, they have almost one lapse to go along with it. This play is yet again another lapse. DSJ gets absolutely fucking crushed by Bam on this screen. If I'm him, I'm pissed at Nick Claxton because the only time an NBA player gets leveled this hard on a screen is when this screen is not called out. So he is disoriented. It's like he got smacked with a cinder block. Okay, so he's not even in the play at this point. To his credit, however, he gets up and is, again, ready to compete. The thing he does wrong here is he doesn't stay on Tyler Hero. He doesn't stick on him. He instead tries to make a play for the ball, which leaves Hero open. And he doesn't recognize until Hero is already starting over to Bam. And once again, Tyler Hero is too good of a player to allow these types of looks. Look at how he walks in to this shot. Look at his feet on this play. It's almost perfect. 1-2, boom. Square, release, dish by Bam in his shooting pocket. He's going to make that 7 times out of 10. And unfortunately, he made like it 10 times out of 10 down the stretch of this game. Keep in mind of something. Brooklyn has a timeout left. Watch Smith Jr. on this play. Sets a fake screen. Comes back up. Sets an actual screen. Once Hero came over that screen, he should have flashed to the middle. He should have flashed to the free throw line somewhere where they can put Miami at a disadvantage, where you can play 4-on-3 instead of what effectively gets turned back into a 5-on-5. Now, the play is already broken down. He's going to dribble out, kick to Royce O'Neal. They're going to try to manufacture something, but ultimately it results in a fadeaway runner by Bridges, doesn't land, and then it is called for offensive interference. Just a tough break on that one. These little things, they add up, especially when you're going against a team like Miami, who was 1 year removed from the finals, who has gone to the finals twice since 2021, or 2020, pardon me, 2021, yeah, overtime, 23 seconds. The Nets are on defense. They still have a timeout. Miami down 1, 20 seconds left. Hero bringing the ball up. There is a switch. DSJ onto Bam. DSJ then switches off of Bam onto Royce O'Neal, winding up on Jimmy Butler. There is a clear out. There is Jimmy Butler going to his left. DSJ has no business guarding Jimmy Butler. All right. I very much like Dennis Smith Jr. I think that his defensive intensity has improved remarkably since he's come into the league. This is not a situation where there should be any sort of switching. I understand it's a mismatch either way. You know, more likely than not, Miami's going to go to Jimmy Butler at the end of the game. There should not have been a switch. Royce O'Neal or Mikal Bridges should have started this possession on Jimmy Butler and ended this possession on Jimmy Butler, because now he goes to the free throw line. It's a horrible position for DSJ to be in. So JB goes to the line, hits a free throw, and I accidentally fast forwarded to the end of the game. 11.8 seconds left. Jacques Vaughn has a timeout in his pocket, and he does not fucking use it. Doesn't use it to advance the ball, which I think you're able to do that in the final 2 minutes of overtime. Don't quote me on that. Regardless, even if you can't advance the ball, draw a fucking play up, bro. Come on. Like, how are you, after a made free throw, just letting your team go into a set? If this was to tie at 95, I understand it a little bit more. But you're wasting 5 seconds just getting the ball into the front court. There is no action unfolding. The only thing that happens is there is a screen attempt by Royce O'Neal. Like, bro, use your timeout. I don't understand how you are an NBA coach at the end of the game with however many assistants you have on the bench, and you don't use your timeout. It's flabbergasting. That was the final detail that prompted me to be like, I have to make this video. Like, I have to vent about this, because this is just like, this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And of course, Brooklyn goes on to lose this game. Because of multiple things. Yes, there were defensive breakdowns at the end of the game. They didn't shoot that great from the perimeter either. But to not use your final timeout to draw up a play for Cam Thomas, to draw up a play for Mikal Bridges, you just let your team freestyle it with 7 seconds left on the clock. It's disastrous. It is. I don't understand. I hope that there is some self-reflection by Jacques Vaughn. He's like, damn, nobody told me that I had a timeout. Like, bro, look at the fucking scoreboard. It tells you. Look up at the big fucking screen in the middle of the arena. Anyway, thank you guys so very much for coming to hang out with me. This was actually, I had a lot of fun making this video. I had a lot of fun doing this watch along. Of course, I hope that this doesn't get struck by the NBA or something. But regardless, thank you guys so very much for coming to hang out with me today. As always, everything I'm associated with is down in the description box below. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a like on this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a comment as well. It really helps out with the algorithm. If you do any of those things, you'll become my new favorite person. And with that, I'll catch you on the next one.